Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keeping It True. I am your host, Nino Reyes, and today I have the most amazing person ever, Big D. What's good? How you feeling?
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night, everybody. What's going
You
on?
got that radio voice. I see you.
That's where I started, college radio.
Yeah, you built for that.
Yeah. Did
That's
that.
crazy.
I was doing college radio when I was actually in 11th grade in high school.
11th grade.
Yeah, I was doing
Wow.
college radio. Yep.
We're about to dive into all that,
Let's talk
but I
about
need
it.
to I need to first do your intro. I gotta let y'all know who Big D is. So on today's episode, we're gonna be talking to Derek, also known as Big D.
That's the government.
You like, why you gotta say that? So Big D is an accomplished entertainment and marketing executive with decades of experience in the music industry. As the former senior director of promotions and VP of marketing at Roc Nation, D played a key role in launching chart-topping campaigns for artists like Snow Allegra, Rhapsody, Fat Joe, Remy Ma, PNB Rock, Lloyd, and many others, including his work with brands like Douce Cognac, Plains Apparel, and Ace of Spades Champagne. With a career spanning work with major labels like Universal Motown, Empire, and Warner Brothers, Big D has been instrumental in shaping artist development, radio promotions, and branding strategies across the industry. Thank you for being here, and I'm excited that we're about to dive into your career and into your journey.
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Let's just talk about it.
All right, so first I want to talk about where you're from. I know you're from the BX.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Soundview, Colgate and Story.
You from Soundview?
Absolutely.
I thought you was from the 2 and 5 line.
Nah, from the 6th line.
I ain't know that.
Put some respect on it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I used to live in the 6th line, so
Okay.
I guess I get a little bit,
Nah,
Morrison.
Don't mix it up.
From Morrison.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Colgate and Story.
I was by Fratelli between Watson and Gleason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're the neighbor then.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't even know that.
I lived in different parts of the Bronx. I used to live by Bathgate, by St. Barnabas, by 3rd Avenue. And
You
then,
was High Bridge, you was Soundview,
yeah, but I grew up on 183rd and University by Fordham.
Kingsbridge.
Yeah, so I grew up over there. And then I've been on the west side of the Bronx ever since. So
Got it.
Yeah. So how has the Bronx impacted your love for music?
As we all know, this thing called hip hop that we love so much. It came from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Things like that. They used to have the back in the day they called them jams. They
Okay.
had those in the back of my building
Okay.
in the basketball court. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, when I was young, 4, 5, 6 years old, they used to have the wire come through my window, and they had the extension cord go all the way to the basketball courts, and they would set their turntables up and their speakers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you was like the plug, quite literally, like they
Literally,
was
yeah.
playing
I
the
had
outlet.
I had an older sister, so she kind of delegated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who got that connect, that plug for real, the literal plug. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
the younger brother, but I was watching out the window and hearing it, and
Okay.
it was remarkable.
And this was in Soundview?
This was yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
So you was
absolutely.
like getting block parties started, like you was getting people like jumping, like it was getting lit.
It all came from the bedroom, plug, the outlet, for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. So can you tell us about your journey into the music and entertainment industry and how you got your start at Geffen Records?
Yes, let's talk about it. So yeah, pretty much, I never planned on being in the music business. It's something that kind of fell in my lap. I went to college, I got my a degree in early childhood education to be a school teacher.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to do.
What
you
a
know I mean?
turn.
Yeah. Since I was young, I wanted to be a school teacher. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I always appreciated teachers, and they're very they're not celebrated the way they could be or should be. So I always wanted to be a teacher. Just to kind of work with students and help and be of guidance and things like that. That was something that always kind of sat with me since a young boy. But yeah, pretty much I landed doing, like I mentioned before, I did college radio when I was in high school.
Okay.
It was an FM radio show here in New York City. I did that for like 3 years as a co-host. And then doing that pretty much led me to, a bunch of other folks in the music business. At that time, there's, the artists that was relevant, Brand Nubians and De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest and Ice Cube and the Lynch Mob, et cetera, et cetera. They all kind of came to the radio station for interviews and
Okay.
promotion, tours and, tour stops and things like that. And
Yeah.
at that time, I was just meeting, a lot of the publicists, a lot of the promotion people at the labels at Job, Electra, et cetera, et cetera.
And this was all happening while you was in 11th grade of high school.
Yeah,
You was meeting
that's when it
all these
started.
folks.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would come home from school, Stevenson High School, what's up? I come home from school, do some homework or whatever, do a little reading and knock it out. Then by like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I was on that 19 bus going to
Yeah.
Harlem. You know what I mean?
He was going through Southern Boulevard.
Taking the longest route ever, the longest route. And then I, get off from 145th, walk to
Yeah.
City College, and get to it every
That's
night. It was Monday through
crazy.
Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Did that for like 3.5 years.
Wow, that's lit.
But
That's
yeah, like I
lit.
was saying, I met a bunch of folks along the way, promo people, marketing people at the various labels, and then I met one guy named Mike McDonald. At the time, he managed Wu Tang.
Okay.
This is like 92, 93, where Wu Tang was just really getting started.
Was Sophia Chang still there working with
She
them?
was there, yes. She was a part of the whole upper management crew and things like that.
Okay.
Devon, RZA, of course. So yeah, Mike McDonald was the manager at the time. He's from the Bronx as well. He would always see me at different events, Gay Key, industry events. There'd be a Black Moon album release party. I just happened to bump into him and things like that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yo, D, you everywhere. Like you be
He
in
was
the cut." and
outside.
stuff. I was outside back then, and at the time because it kind of fell on my lap and I had a passion for it anyway. I was kind of like, I was getting invites to the parties and things of that sort. So I was like, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I wound up bumping into him. He was like, "Yo, D, I'm gonna reach out for you." And a few months later, he called me to be his assistant.
That's lit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
lit.
So I was working for Wu-Tang Clan, working with him, working with the street team and things like that. And then pretty much when Wu-Tang came out, they had such a big impact. As a collective, Method Man signed to Def Jam, Raekwon and Ghost. They went to I believe Epic Records or Sony Records. And then Jizza, he went to Wu-Tang. Sorry, not Wu-Tang. He went to Geffen Records, pardon me.
Okay.
Geffen at the time was more of a rock pop label. It wasn't really, solid in the urban base,
Yeah.
that whole arena and things like that. So, Mike was like, "Yo, D, I need you to work out of the Geffen office." Kind of give him some extra, direction and extra manpower. You know what this is already. So I need you to kind of go up there and, give them
Gotcha.
directions. You know what I mean? So I went up there. They set me up with a little cubicle and a desktop and a fax machine and a FedEx account, so I could, mailing records out and things like that. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
I did that. Just the album came out, went gold in 3 weeks. The label was ecstatic, excited, and they offered me a gig. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much where it started in a nutshell.
And what was that first gig?
The first gig was, to be like I went from being a street team guy to being like, director of promotions.
Wow.
So
That was a big jump.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I was a young guy. I was like 21 years old, 21 years old.
Yeah.
They gave me a salary, gave me a corporate card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, yo, let's go.
You like, I'll take it.
Yeah. You tell a young kid from the Bronx, New York, I got $35,000 a year. In the late '90s.
Yeah.
That's a nice little change. You still living
Yeah,
at
yeah.
home.
Facts.
You got a corporate card. You go to the events.
If you make your $35 in work, you invest it properly and manage it. You do it. You do
Absolutely.
it.
And at that time, 35,000. 2024, 2025. That's maybe worth about 75,000 or so. And, if you're 21 years old and making that kind of change and living
Yeah.
at home,
You was living.
rent free. Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope. That's dope. So I do want to kind of jump into your experience working with legends and amazing artists from Mary J. Blige to Common to The Roots and Mos Def early in your career. What was that experience like doing that so early on, even with Wu-Tang, to adapt to that environment? How was that for you?
It was a blessing, you know what I mean? And of course, along the way, you got to learn how to play a position. You can't be a fan.
Facts.
You could be a fan, but you can't be a stan, I should say. You know what I mean? You're there to do a job.
You can admire and like them,
Of course.
but not be weird.
Yeah, that part. Don't be weird. Don't be standing there staring at them and being at their beck and call and
Right,
following
right.
them around and things like that.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So, I
Pulling up your phone, recording them and stuff.
Yeah, but that time we didn't even have the camera phones. All we had pages and
Yeah.
2 ways back then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
so you gotta know how to differentiate, use discretion, use discernment when it comes to things like that. Especially working with the superstars. You don't want to sit here and mess, piss them off, and next thing you know, they calling your boss, and your boss is like, yeah, I had D with me. He was just staring at me all night and following me around. I don't want that.
Yeah,
You know
facts.
what I mean?
Facts.
So, that was something I've never done, and it was a job at the same time. I had, I
Gotcha.
had obligations to, get certain things done. So I was there to kind of orchestrate, chaperone,
Okay.
That's what it was.
Lit. So how did your role working in college radio and street promotions at Geffen Records, how did that shape your understanding of artist development?
At that time, artists a lot of times, especially for Wu-Tang, they was from the streets. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, I, moving around, doing these promo runs and things like that. Sometimes they come in the office and they have these media training of how to speak, how to
Oh,
talk, how to
facts.
answer questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How to be, engaging and
Mm.
things of that sort. So, just pretty much watching. And also, a lot of times when we go do these media promo runs, I will always kind of make sure, they speak. You engage with the host. We're going to go see Angie Martinez. We're going to go see Star and Buck Wild. You got to turn it up, you know what I mean?
Right, right,
And
right.
things like that. So, just watching the room and also knowing when to kind of nudge them a little bit and kind of like, yo, I need you to bring it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you be
Speak
being
a little
you
louder,
too,
be a little more
too cool
engaging.
for school right now. Don't do that.
Yeah, I experience that even now. Like sometimes interviewing people, their energies be like here,
Yeah.
and I be like trying to rise them up a little bit, but I'm like, I can only help you so much. You know what I
I
mean?
think that's a problem with I don't want to sit here and jump the gun, but I think today's artists, I mean, not a lot, all of them, but a good portion of them,
Yeah.
they don't know how to kind of just be engaged and have a conversation without saying you feel me, you smell me, you know what I'm saying, every 30 seconds and things like that. You know what I mean? They don't know
Yeah.
how to keep things
Yeah, yeah,
going.
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't know how to, look the
It's
person in the
crazy.
eyes and talk and just get that connection and things like that. So that's a big, a big situation that's kind of really showed his face a lot in the last few years.
Got to give them some speech classes. Get them a
Yeah,
speech coach. I
absolutely.
needed one of those. It's okay. Sometimes we got to go through it from the beginning.
And I think for
You know?
artists, when you talk and have this conversation, it shows your personality. If you have
Facts.
personality, it can show your character. You gotta, go up there and show a little enthusiasm, get the
Yeah.
audience that's watching to kind of, buy into it. You know what I mean? Oh, he got personality. He's charming.
Yeah,
He's this,
yeah.
that. He's witty. He's funny. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's artists over the years that a lot of times you may not know who they are until you actually sit there and watch them. But then when you see their personality, you kind of, they really win you over.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So now I want to talk about strategies. So, like, what strategies did you use to increase the visibility of new artists across different marketplaces? I know you and I had a conversation before about like you've had to travel, go to different cities. Sometimes you go into the hood and you're trying to see what's the new sound. So, like, what are strategies that you use over time to like really find either good talent or to either increase the visibility of a talent that you might be working with?
I think, traditionally, it's always about, the promo tour. A lot of times we would just go through the radio stations, the autograph signings, the album signings, the meet and greets and things like that. And that always worked, you know what I mean? Do the in stores and stuff like that. And I think even more so today in 2024, as we're going to 25, I think artists just got to be, they got to connect. They got to also kind of, know who their audience is and reach out to them. You know what I mean? Look at the feedback. And a lot of times you gotta talk to your audience, talk to your fans. Like promo tours, the expression is, go out there, shake hands, and kiss babies. And when you're on a promo tour, it's like running for like office. You're campaigning.
Yeah, facts.
You're out there trying to sell a product. You know what I mean? Whether it be your single, your album, your tour. You know what I mean? Your tour tickets, merchandise. You know what I mean? You want to go out there and really connect with the audience and let them see you, see your personality once again, and also just kind of get a vibe as to who you really are. Just again build the connection. That's the key.
What's the minimum amount budget wise that you might need in order to really break an artist?
Budget wise, it's not cheap.
I know it ain't
In-
cheap.
Investing in yourself is not a cheap
Is
thing.
it like
you know what
half
I
a
mean?
mil?
It could go up to a $500,000, absolutely. You know what I mean? You think about at the time when the artist, needs one, you need a publicist. You know what I mean? So you gotta pay somebody to kind of be a retainer and things like that. Plus, travel when they gotta move around and go to different award shows or special events in other cities and states. You need marketing. You need, shucks, truth be told, what's missing right now is quality music, quality production. You know what I mean? The whole mixing and mastering process. A lot
Right.
of artists are skipping that process. They just kind of getting songs, rapping over on their phone, and putting it out there. You know what I mean? That's why
They
the
really
quality.
doing it on their phones?
Oh, absolutely. They got little mics they sell on Amazon for $30, $40.
I got one of those. Is it these?
That could be a variation of one. That could be one. You know what I mean? They go into a quiet spot. I've had artists that hit me during the pandemic. You know what I mean? And shout out to Clubhouse. I had a lot of conversations in Clubhouse. A lot of artists will hit me, and they record in the closet. They record in the basement. They record
Wow.
in their parents' bedroom. Their parents go to work. Things like that. And it's reflecting in the actual artistry and the music that's been coming out the last few years. It's not. It's the quality just is not there.
Got you. Got you. Interesting. So you've also contributed to the development of gold and platinum albums. What does it take to help an artist reach those milestones?
It takes first and foremost, it takes good quality music. It has to be the music. That's what it starts off with, the music, and then a strong work ethic.
Okay.
Being able to go out there, sometimes there's been times I've been on the road with artists and we start our day at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, have gone to 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and things like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Common. He's one of the artists that I really, um, I love. I love Common. You know what I mean? Early on, and we had he first got signed to Geffen Records back in like '97. We did a promo tour
Okay.
for about 4 weeks straight. We went from Boston to L.A. We went to the Navigator, me, him, and his manager. There's three of us, and we went from Boston all the way to California, L.A. And every major city we stopped in, you know what I mean, along the way, and we just did other.
And this was on the road?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
We did every morning show. We did every afternoon, evening show. We did meet and greets at the stations. He was doing shows later on that night. Get the next day, do this, the next city. Drive 2, 3, 4 hours away to the next town and
Wow.
do it all over again. Some nights we was actually leaving the club and driving to the city the night before to do the morning show that next morning and things like that.
So I want to know, what does that process look like for you? Are you like booking all of that for him, or do you have like a team that's like booking lodging and then like booking radio station interviews? Like, is everyone playing their different roles?
Absolutely.
Or are you like that person really kind of doing all of this for these artists?
Now we have different departments, you know what I mean? Most labels have somebody that usually handles the travel. Usually might be artist relations department, or it could be the marketing department. One of the assistants or the coordinators may go ahead and do the travel.
Okay.
But when it comes to actually the itinerary, everybody kind of plugs in. You know what I mean? PRs plug in some media outlets, maybe some podcasts, things like that. Me being a radio promo marketing guy, I plug in the radio opportunities, podcasts as well, which is, kind of, falls into the whole media category now.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of chimes in. There's times we have the sales team kick in. They may do, in stores or meet and greets at DTLR or Nike or, a local, sneaker store that's in certain cities and things like that. So everybody kind of plugs in.
Dope. So how do you see the role of radio in today's digital age? Has it evolved, or does it still hold the same weight in promoting artists?
Radio used to be, up until about maybe 10, 12 years ago, radio used to be the main, or should I say not the main, but one of the key components to, exposing an artist and exposing the music and brand. I want to say, when I first started, radio was pretty much the major outlet to, get the artists exposed and things like that. Now it's maybe like number 3 or 4 on the
So
list.
what's above that?
I want to say playlisting, social media content, and then kind of maybe radio might come in third, maybe, you know what I mean? But there's other things that's kind of, because everybody's not, everybody has, smartphones.
Gotcha.
Everybody has, Spotify, Pandora, you know what I mean? Tidal, what up, y'all? Amazon Music and things like that. So, a lot of times, they could go out there and people make their own playlists, get into their mood, what they feel like, things like that. Driving music, morning music, work music, et cetera, et cetera. So radio, it's a free outlet, which is a good thing. It's always going to exist. I just think radio needs to kind of also catch up with what's current in the marketplace. A lot of stations, and I don't want to shout nobody out in particular, but we have these big conglomerates, the iHearts, the Radio Ones, et cetera, Cumulus, and these big chains kind of operate on a national basis.
Okay.
Which means some of the stations, like we got a station in New York, they may replicate the same thing that's going on in Dallas, the same thing that's going on in Chicago. And each city, state, territory has their own kind of vibe, their own kind of lingo, and things like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes you do, you follow these national playlists. It kind of negates the local feel, the local artist, the local talent. That's kind of not getting a shot.
And that gets kind of whack.
It does.
Because even like for me, like I ain't trying to shit on no radio stations either. But sometimes I'm like, I don't want to listen to like this hit song by Drake. Maybe I want to listen to something that is more, that could still be in Drake's album, but is maybe something that is like, just not that feel of pop sometimes that they might be pushing, or like sometimes it's like the most popular song. And sometimes the most popular song to me is not the best song out of the whole project for
Absolutely.
like different artists. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. And it's like, yo, can y'all like switch it up a little bit? Maybe play a few other songs from the album, or like, stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Even the comment of local
But it's a
artists
catch
too.
22 as well, because a lot of times, if you're a program director, you may hear a song that's on the album that stands out to you, and you
Yeah.
go ahead and jump on it and support it. The label might want to focus on something else. We did the video for this one. We put our
Yeah.
marketing behind this one. I need you to I appreciate you supporting it and playing this song. But
Yeah.
this right here is the one that we're really focusing on. This right here is going to be the one that's going to kind of sell the album, sell the tour. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
that's when you, as a programmer, got to kind of figure out, are you going to play both of them? You're going to play one of them, one of
Okay.
them, and maybe a little bit of this one.
And they'll come like at a different cost too if you playing like a second song.
No, I won't
They're
say
like, you got to
credit.
put a little extra now for this one
No,
financially.
not necessarily. You know what I mean? The station want to step out. They they went ahead and did it on their own anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you was going to play it anyway. So,
So might as well. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
yeah.
So now I want to talk about you managing large teams and budgets. We'll also talk about the financial aspect. So what's the key to leading a successful promotions team across the country? You were talking about Common and how you were, working on his campaign. So like, how do you eventually lead to success when you are working with different teams, and the aspect of budgeting and managing all that?
You got to pretty much know who the client is, know who the artist is, what their strengths, weaknesses, what to build from. Most artists have different starting points and things like that. Some have, different, areas where they kind of may need to focus on and work on, where they may, be really strong in certain things. You got to continue to amplify those situations and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And I think with having a team nationally, everybody gets to plug in, do what they got to do, and you got to make sure you have the right people in these places, these regionals and things like that. Having the right people and making sure, as a department head, I had to make sure I give, I delegated the proper instruction and directives
Okay.
as to what needs to be done. You know what I mean? Certain artists, you made some artists like my sister Rhapsody. She's not a club person. We know
Okay.
she don't do clubs. You know what I mean? But we make sure when she's on the road and she's doing her, appearances, her promo runs, we do all the other outlets where people are going to be at. It might be she don't do a club, but maybe just find a nail salon and pop in there and let her go in there and take pictures and do things, or maybe find a beauty salon that does hair.
Kind of finding like a niche
Yeah,
per artist.
absolutely. Because she's not. Rhapsody's not gonna do no bottle service.
Yeah.
She's not doing that. That's not her lifestyle. That's not who she is.
Yeah.
But
So
then
she don't like hosting like events that are at
no,
clubs.
she'll do all that, but it has to align with her brand and who she is.
Got you.
She's not.
That's dope though.
Yeah,
I think that sometimes
absolutely.
you got to be in alignment as an artist with what your vision and what's authentic to you. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%.
Because then it kind of feels forced,
It
and
feels
I feel
out of place.
Yeah. But I feel like sometimes for me, because I kind of worked a little bit in music in the beginning, and I was like, working with artists is complicated too, because there's a lot of demands that comes with it, and a lot
You
of
think so?
like, yeah, no, I think you're being sarcastic when you
No,
say
I'm
that.
saying, hey, you think so?
You say you think so? You gave me the smirk, like,
No, I think like I mentioned this now, you got to kind of learn who the artist is. You got to figure out who they are and where they want to go. Like the good thing about myself is, we, the labels I've worked with, we signed the artists and we started working them and getting them positioned to, roll out and things like that. I always make sure I had separate time to kick it with them, talk to them, vibe it out, do dinners, lunches,
Gotcha.
outside of the workplace. You know what I mean? Just kind of just get a connection and figure out, what they're talking about, what they're feeling.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Also know what they wear, what they like, and stuff like that.
But sometimes don't you feel like you might have this direction for them? Like, let's say, using Rhapsody as an example, that you might be like, hey, I got this club for you, and I think that it'll be great. They probably throwing hella money at you to host, but she might not feel aligned with it. So then you're kind of like, damn, like, I really want you to do this because it's great for you, visibility, promotion-wise, marketing-wise, like, the people that are about to be in the room, the eyes that are about to be there, it's going to be influencers, whatever, right? And then she says no.
Is it a party or is it a club night?
this is just a theory. This is not real,
Because
right?
because
This is
rap. Let me
theoretical.
be clear. Rap. She's just very social.
Okay.
She's just not in the club at 1, 2 in the morning,
Okay.
popping bottles and throwing out singles.
But what I'm
But
not saying is,
if it's a listening party for
yeah.
Kendrick Lamar or Anderson Park or whoever may be, she'll pop out. She'll say what's up. She'll show love. Like she's not.
Gotcha.
That's one thing about her. She gonna support you and show love, especially when she rock with you.
So what I'm saying is not necessarily about her, just using her as an example, but in the sense of like sometimes you as an expert in your field and knowing like, hey, I have this suggestion for you, but the artist might push back because they don't feel like that's what they want to do. You don't feel like that comes with a level of challenge when you know like, hey, I have the best advice for you and I think you should do this and you should show up in this place, but they're probably like pushing back because they feel like this is not for me, I don't want this, and you feel like, hey, this can take you from here, you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes there are situations like that where you might be working with an artist and you might have this vision for them of like, hey, you take this opportunity right here, right? You have all the steps and the strategy ready for them, but they can't see that vision and instead they're pushing back on you, and then it feels like, you know, it's like this combativeness that you end up dealing with, you know what I'm saying? So do you feel like that's a challenge that you
I try to
ever
find a
over?
median, figure out what could work. You know what I mean? I know a
Okay.
situation where it might be not the best fit, but it might be a nice look, like you mentioned. You know what I mean? And I may tell
Okay.
the artist, the pros as to why it could be. You know what I mean? They say, hey, COD, I'm not doing it. That's not me. I might say, yo, let's just go pop in there 15, 20, 30 minutes. Make it
Gotcha.
short and brief. You know what I mean? Try to see, if they're willing to do that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to overwhelm them
Gotcha.
and put them in a situation where they just feel awkward, like they shouldn't
Yeah.
be there. You know what I mean? So sometimes, I've had artists who didn't want to do certain things. We might just go there, walk in, take pictures, say what's up, and get right back in the car and head to where we got to go to.
Gotcha. Okay.
Maybe go back to the hotel. Who knows?
But that came with experience, though, for you,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely,
Like to eventually kind of just be more chilled and laid back instead of like forcing it.
absolutely. You know what I mean? I have an artist. I won't say his name, but he's signed to Roc Nation, and he's from New York. He's not a big club guy. You know what I mean? And there's times when I try to get him to go to clubs, strip clubs, regular clubs, and things like that. Because
Yeah.
he's from New York, so I think New York needs to see you.
Yeah,
If you got a
yeah.
New York, or you're a New York artist and put on a project. And a lot of times he wasn't. He'd get there, he just stand there and be like, just why am I
Ready to
here?
go.
Yeah, like why am I here? I'll go in there. We'll see Camilo. We'll see Superstar J. We'll see DJ Self. Take a picture real quick. Let them shout them out. Mm-hmm. We out there 15, 20 minutes later.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta just kind of you gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable sometimes.
Facts. I hear that. I hear that. So now I want to talk about, your career at Roc Nation. So
Yes.
you've done amazing things like work with Snow Allegra, Buju Banton. I'm saying his name right?
Buju Banton.
Buju Banton. I said
Not
it right?
Ton. Buju Banton. Like Bonton.
My accent's gonna come out, so let's just leave it at that.
What accent was that?
My Dominican one.
That was
Don't
Dominican.
do me like that.
That was something else.
D, don't do me like that. So
I'm saying.
Buju Banton.
Where did Ton come from? Ton. There's no W there. Buju Banton. I say it for you. Buju Banton.
You got it. So you have been promoting them as artists at Roc Nation. So how has that differed from your work at previous labels?
I don't know if it's been much different, than other, labels and things like that. Just pretty much another layer of talent that I got a chance to work with along my journey.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if Buju was much different than me working with Shaggy 20
Okay.
years ago. I don't know if Snow was much different than working with Kiki Wyatt or Mary J. Blige or Shantae Moore 20 years ago and things like that. Just, different artists, same genres, between the both of them. But yeah, just, probably apply different approaches with, the times changing and things like that. But
Gotcha. And you've also worked with major lifestyle brands like Nike and Reebok. So how has corporate partnerships and played a major part in promoting music as well?
well, a lot of times we do these brand partnerships, with the various brands like you just mentioned. A lot of times it comes with like photo opportunities. It comes with like campaigns. It comes with endorsements. A lot of times, they'll supply the artists with merch and paraphernalia and stuff like that to kind of, when they make their appearances, their club runs, their hostings, or whatever it may be, they're laced up with the good stuff and things like that. And also in
Dope.
return, the brand is also kind of doing campaigns with the music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
There's the posters, the billboards in Times Square and Vegas and Los Angeles and all the other big cities that have the billboards and stuff like that. They're reciprocating with you know just the signage and things like that. So that's the
Gotcha.
visibility factor that also kind of kicks in, and also for the artists, that's extra revenue. You
I
know what I
like
mean?
that. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
And while you was also overseeing promotions and marketing for Roc Nation, you were also working with in-house entities like Duce and Ace of Spades. What was that experience like now working with like spirits brands?
I want to say I've been doing that for a long time, working with spirits. You know, what I mean, of course, in my previous situations with MCA, Universal, Warner Brothers, we didn't have, they didn't have any in-house brands per se. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times we would kind of, we do special events, listening parties, playbacks, whatever, whatever. We have, we reach out to Bacardi, we reach out to um, Ciroc, we'll reach out to, whatever's relevant in the marketplace at that particular time, and
Gotcha.
we have them come be a sponsor. Yo, we're doing an event with so and so. We need, we need some bar support. You know what I mean? For 4 hours at this, that, and third. Giving them the logistics as what we're looking to get done and stuff like that. And yeah, a lot of times they come through. But working with Duce and Ace of Spades, the in-house brand, a lot of times we did events. They will always be our liquor of choice. You know what I mean?
Nice.
They always make sure we was well stocked. All our guests and clients and key tastemakers that was present. They was always kind of getting a
Mm-hmm.
good libations and having a good time. Did gifting. At various times. Whether somebody celebrating the #1 record or celebrating an artist. Doing a successful tour or sometimes just a note of appreciation and thank you. We would always kind
Yeah.
of had those tools to kind of, here you go, my brother, here you go, young lady, thanks for
Yeah.
for the support and
That's fire.
helping us do this and do that.
Dope, dope, dope. And what were some of the most successful marketing strategies that you've implemented for cross branding opportunities between artists and corporations? Is there like one example where it was like one that was really successful for you?
I want to say a while back I did a campaign with Beats headphones.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and they kind of not only did they also take care of the artists and do the collaboration, they also supplied me with like 100 pair of Beats headphones to take care of my key radio DJs and programs across the country.
Wow, that's
Yeah, it's like
good.
we're gonna add, say at the and Beats came out, they was the hottest thing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times, I took the extra 100 pair they gave me and took care of my key programmers that supported us from day one, and as another
That's
note of
fire.
thanks and appreciation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they still killing it in the music
yeah.
business because I know they came out with that little like Bluetooth piece, the one that goes like you clip on. That looks fire.
You got to advance with the times. That's what everybody's doing. A
Yeah.
little, they don't. Nobody wants the big bulky stuff in their head no more.
Yeah, yeah, and they have like Tyler with it now. I saw it like in
Yeah,
the commercial. I was like, that's fire. But yeah, that's cool.
nah,
They be
absolutely.
getting paid, yo. I need to go into that field of work. I need to do like a
The
transition in
headphones.
my life
Go do the Ray J.
into like brand partnerships and
Do the
sponsorships.
Raycon.
You think I should do that?
Why not?
I'm gonna consider it.
Just give me a pair.
I got you. So now I want to talk about your national music competitions. So you have judged some of them, right?
I have.
So what qualities do you look for when evaluating new talent?
New talent. I look for we always say this, talking to the audience, but originality, and unfortunately it's kind of hard to be original, but I think maybe authentic would be a better word. Being who you are, being true to yourself and your brand and your beliefs and things like that. So I look for that. I look for confidence.
Okay.
And I look for artists. One of my pet peeves when artists perform, particularly new artists, when they perform over the record. I think that's the worst thing in the world. 'Cause it's kind of like you're gonna perform over the record. Why not just play the record?
Oh wow.
Like
Noted.
part of entertaining and being on stage is giving the
You better be
crowd a
live.
performance and also letting us hear you perform the
Only.
record, not play the record.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of
Yeah.
artists is cheating by playing the record. And you can definitely hear it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And sometimes it makes it sound worse because sometimes you're trying to rap over the lyrics and now you're hearing two different voices. The voice on the record doesn't sound the same as the voice that's being live. So it's like,
Yeah.
so artists got to kind of, be really smart about their presentation, and also be practice.
Well, y'all listening to this advice now, so I hope y'all take it, artists. Y'all
Yeah,
listening to the
y'all
advice.
listening. Pay attention, please. Get your
Don't be
notepads
playing
out.
no music in the background. You better be just fully
Get
live.
that show track or that TV track, and yeah, 'cause the TV track and the show track is pretty much the same as a record
Mm.
without the vocals on there. It just has like the drops and the chorus and things like that. So it
Okay.
allows the artist, the singer or the rapper to actually perform their vocals live in front of the
Yeah.
audience.
And have like some support
Yeah,
on the show. Interesting.
absolutely.
So you've also had your hand in the success of many iconic albums and soundtracks. Is there one project in particular that you're especially proud of?
Ah, boy, what am I particularly proud of? Let's go back to Common again.
Mm.
Common and the Roots.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
At the time when they both came out, they were both considered at the time underground artists.
Mm-hmm.
They was kind of underground, backpack. That whole they had that. They was synonymous with those expressions and things like that.
Okay.
Common came out like I mentioned a little earlier. We did the whole promo tour and when the album came out, it went gold. Then for him to go gold and then into platinum status, and then a couple of years, getting some kind of notoriety in the mainstream space,
Mm-hmm.
and then also being nominated for Grammy Awards and Soul Train Awards and
Fire.
other kind of big pedestals events. That was very it kind of made me feel good to show that the hard work was being noticed and
Mm.
people were watching and things like that. And the same for the Roots. I remember when Geffen, when I was at Geffen, we had merged into MCA. The MCA folks, they had Mary J. Blige already. They had Casey and JoJo. They had Patti LaBelle. They had, a lot of people already over there. So it was already successful.
Okay.
And when they acquired some of the artists from the Geffen through the merger, they acquired Common, the Roots, etc. They didn't treat the Roots like stepchildren almost
Oh wow.
until they went ahead and put out an album that went gold plus. They had the song "You Got Me" with Erica Badu that went #1 for several weeks,
Yeah.
and then
Then they got treated differently.
they didn't win a Grammy. And they went from being the last group on the conference call to being the #1 priority for the company,
Wow.
like immediately.
Yo, music. The music business is
Yeah.
crazy.
I remember when we had the song to radio at the time, and it was again we was working Mary J. Blige, a bunch of other superstars at the time, and then when the song went out and radio loved it.
Mm.
And we started getting the feedback from the programmers and people like that. They started putting a record in rotation and, I love this song. This is a hit. Whatever.
Yeah.
The very next week on the conference call, they went from like #4 or 5 on the priority list. I mean, on the agenda to #1
Wow.
immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We went ahead and we super served the marketplace and we knew something was there. We continued to gas the fire.
Yeah.
And the Roots became a commercial success. They won 2 Grammys the following year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then they kind of just had that moment and became a household name right after
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah,
And you got to experience all that.
I did. Went on the road
That's
those guys,
amazing.
and going on the road with those guys, it's like you need 2 vehicles because there's so many of them.
Really?
Yeah, and the Roots was like maybe well not a lot, but it's like 6 of them at the time, 6, 7 of them. Plus they had the road managers and
We need they space too,
then the
right?
driver, then the equipment, the bass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then,
So it was literally 2 buses,
yeah,
2 tour buses.
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's lit. Wow. How many times you been on tour? Do you know?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I went on tour. with the
Like you could count with
Roots.
both hands, or is it more?
Both hands, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fire.
My most recent tour, I was on the Chris Brown tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Maida. Yeah, Maida.
It's
she
Maida.
Maida, yeah.
That's
She opened up for
Maida.
the Chris Brown tour. So I did
I
about,
always say things in Spanish.
there she go again, bringing out that Bronx stuff. But yeah, my last tour was the Chris Brown tour. I did about 20 dates.
Okay.
About half the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good run. Arenas every night, beautiful, beautiful. Maida went ahead and rocked out every night. Did her 20-minute set.
She's amazing.
Yeah, then Money Long, and then Chris Brown. Chris Brown's different, yo.
Yeah. Well, as a performer.
Chris Brown is special.
Yeah.
Chris Brown every night he's doing 2 hours straight of just hit records.
Wow.
He's not even doing album track. He's doing hit records, singles, features, remixes.
Yeah.
And even at the end of his show, I'm not sure if you saw the tour or not, but at the end of his show, he does like a little AI thing on the board where he kind of has the crowd pick a letter or a number, whatever, and then they say
I haven't seen that.
everybody goes 5 or 4, whatever the number is, And he goes, yo, let's go number 4. And then the band, the music come on, and they start, start playing another song.
Oh
That's a hit record.
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta
Oh,
go.
that's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm sad I missed it. I'll probably go to his next one. I know he ain't about to stop no
He's
time soon.
overseas now. I think he's in Africa now.
Yeah, I ain't going over there
Yeah,
yet.
Africa's beautiful
When
out
he
there.
comes back though, when he comes back to America another
I think the
time.
tour is over for the domestic
That's what
part.
I'm saying. Like another tour.
But he did he didn't go. He did like 5 dates
He
in New
ain't done
York.
though. He ain't done. This isn't not his
Oh
last
no,
one.
well, this tour is done.
I know.
But
I'm
who
gonna take this
knows?
L
He might do a part 2.
gracefully.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be on
But he
that
did
one.
5 dates
'Cause
in New York. Why he didn't go?
I don't know. I'm different. I don't really be like pressed to go to concerts. I don't know what that's about.
Nah, the Chris
But
Brown thing was special. But yeah, I did that tour.
I love Beyonce. I didn't even go to Renaissance. Sorry, Beyonce. I love you, sis. But
My wife went to that.
everybody
She
went to
enjoyed
that.
it. Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
crazy because she came to New York, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I ain't going to that. And then I found out the next day, half the office went because we got free tickets in house. And I didn't even know.
So you weren't?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know they gave us free tickets.
Okay. So you didn't see her at all, though.
I did not.
Um,
I was on the
sis.
road, and then I came back maybe like 2-3 days before the tour. Her New York stopped. And it was like,
Yeah.
we're all going to the show. That's how everybody going to the show. They gave us tickets yesterday. I was like, nigga,
That's crazy. But next time, because I know she's not done either. So next time when she's on tour, I'll go. I'm going to commit to those 2 artists, Beyonce and Chris.
yeah,
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
You know who's also good in tour? The Afrobeats brother. What's his name?
Davido?
Man. No, not Davido.
Asake?
Burna Boy.
Oh, Burna Boy.
Burna Boy. Yeah, he lights it
I
up.
heard he's really
He
good.
lights it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen him
I
either.
missed the Usher tour. I heard that was really, really great as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard he's
yeah.
been killing it. That's
Absolutely.
fire, though.
But yeah, to answer your question, I did that tour. That's the most recent tour.
Mm-hmm.
I've done tours with the Roots. I've done tours with Common. I was on the road with Chuck's Kenda Man. Shout out to that sister. I was on the road with Rhapsody.
Okay.
Want to go back a little further? I've been on tour. I went on tour with Little John, Little Scrappy, Trioville, and 50 Cent, and Eminem.
Oh,
back in like
nice.
04, 05.
Damn.
That was tiring.
That was tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you see touring still as fun, or to you it's just work? It's like, is it enjoyable? Because I've never been on tour, but I heard it's exhausting.
It can be.
Mm-hmm.
It can be. You know what I mean? Especially we have back-to-back dates.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you go do the tour, you got to get to the venue, do the sound check. Then after that, go to the hotel check-in, and you got to, maybe have a couple of hours to kind of, before you get back to the arena to go prepare for, your set time and things like that. And then in a lot of cases, after the show is done, 11, 12 o'clock, back on the bus and headed to the next city.
Yeah. It's a lot of moving around.
Yeah, it can be.
Not enough
absolutely.
sleep, huh?
Nah, that's tour life. You sleep on the bus, really.
That's crazy.
And that's not the most comfortable sleep, you know what I mean? But you try to, you got to get in when you fit in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to try at least one time. That is one of my goals in life. At least go on one tour.
It's a lot.
I just want to experience it, just to
then,
say I did it.
And then also, when I was on the tour with most artists, during the daytime, we try to lock in, promo and press as well.
Okay.
So the downtime was very minimal.
Yeah, y'all always working.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
No, tour life is 18, 20-hour days.
That's fire.
No,
Kind
it's
of
not.
fire-ish.
Yeah, I would say no, it's not.
But it's fire, like, y'all work ethic and, like, that love and desire and passion, because you can't do this if you don't love it. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not something that's really coming out of your soul, then it becomes dreadful. It becomes, like, it just feels like work.
It's work. It's not
Exactly,
it's not fun to
exactly.
you.
But the fact that you guys are doing it and you've been doing it for this long too, that says that you got a love for it. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask you your last question.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So looking ahead, how do you see the future of music promotion evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? And what should artists be prepared for?
Oh, man. Next 5 to 10 years, hopefully it's still a music business next 5 to 10 years, honestly.
Yeah.
We've seen, the last few weeks into the last several months, a lot of labels downsizing, merging, consolidating, unfortunately, a lot of folks, a lot of good workers have been let go, replaced, and things like that. So these labels are kind of, they're struggling, you know what I mean? A lot of artists are kind of not putting that quality into the music like it used to be, So we got to get back to the A&R process for one. Again, it starts with the music.
Mm-hmm.
I think A&R's got to get back to the practice of finding talent and not relying on analytics, not relying on views, streams, downloads.
Real
Even though
engagement.
that real engagement, even though the analytics can help, I don't think that should be the sole reason you
Because that
sign the
could be
artist.
altered.
It could be altered, and then you could sign an artist that just has no personality, no kind of nothing, no passion. He just does it to does it to do it,
Right,
and things
right.
like that. There's artists out here who have passion, who have love for it, who really, really, want it and have a desire.
Do you think it's also the digital world that is causing this huge transition now?
It's definitely a
Or,
digital space. Digital space. The consumer wants things really, really fast. The music doesn't have a long lasting life any long. You put an album out today, in about 3-4 weeks, it's old.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
crazy. It's true.
10, 12 years ago, before that, you put an album out, you could get 4, 5, 6 singles out of there.
And
The
that's a
song.
lot of pressure on artists too, because I see like, even with my interview with Joe West, he was talking about how he's always like, I gotta push out a new project, I gotta push out a new project, and it's always like this sense of pressure from labels of like something new, and I
Yeah.
guess it's that same aspect of like people having short attention spans too. Like we're not really, indulging for too long in just one project. We're like, where's the new songs at? We're ready moving forward after a few weeks or months. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's real
So
talk. You
it's
know what I mean?
crazy.
I tell artists a lot of times, especially like new developing artists, you got to put music out like every quarter. A song, a project, something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And every project shouldn't be a full album. You don't need to put out 15 songs all the time. Maybe you need to put out 5, 6 records.
Facts.
I'd rather have 6 quality songs than 15 dunts and things like that. So I think the whole landscape has changed. A lot of labels now are looking to do the distribution thing now. I guess they see that having a full staff, and the overhead and things like that,
Yeah.
is kind of, cutting into profits and stuff like that. So for the most part, they kind of,
They're making a shit ton of money though.
yeah, but
Or
that's another
are they?
conversation
Or
for
are
another
they?
plat. I think they are making money, but they're also, how do I say it without killing myself? I don't think they want to cut into their profits.
Okay, I got the memo.
Yeah,
All
they don't
right,
want to cut into their
cool.
profits and things like that. You know what I mean? So they doing, they kind of streamlining the fat. Trimming the fat and things like that. So they feel they might not need a full promotion department, a full marketing team, and
Gotcha.
things like that. A lot of labels are kind of outsourcing PR companies. They're outsourcing promotion in some cases. They've been
Going like the
outsourcing.
freelancing route.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you do that, you ain't got to pay 401ks. You ain't got to pay
All
expense
these
budgets.
benefits,
You ain't got to
right?
pay medical, dental, vision,
Right.
and things like that. So that kills your overhead. You know what I mean, right there.
Yeah.
And pretty much when I saw this happening, I went ahead and decided to start my own situation, Amplify Creative Group.
Yes.
Because a lot of artists, they need these services. They need artist development. They need marketing. They need, a product manager and things like that to kind of give them the directive of the landscape and stuff
Okay.
like that. These labels, as we see, they're not providing that no more. Not all, but a good portion of them.
So now you're independent.
I am.
And are you looking for clients? Like how is that working for you? Like what is your trajectory as independent?
I'm looking to pretty much work with all artists that want to succeed, that want to win, that get it, that have a vision. You know what I mean? There's artists. There's 2 artists out here. There's artists that want to be one and done, which is cool. You want to put a record out and be hot in your block, your hood, your zip code. That's fine. But there's also artists out here
That's
who want to.
tragic. Y'all hear me? That's tragic right there.
It seems like it's beginning to be the norm.
Ugh.
How many artists you hear from? You hear the record, you like it, and then you don't hear from ever again.
Yeah, that's not it.
You know what I mean? And then there's also artists out here who have a vision that want to be around for 5, 10, 15 years. That want to go on tour. That want to go overseas. That want to spread their passion and love for music with the rest of the world and things like that. And I tell a lot of artists when I do these showcases and things like that, think global.
Facts.
There's a whole space out there. Latin America consumes a lot of music.
That's true.
The UK loves music. A little while ago we discussed South Africa. They love music.
That's true.
Chris Brown's doing 2 dates in an arena that holds 94,000 people.
Wow. That's
They
impressive.
love music overseas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They take our music. The only
They
disconnect
love
is
American artists too.
they don't see us that often. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of artists who make a huge living overseas. and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know what I mean? So don't negate the world. Think global. Don't think local. Don't think past your block. Think past your city, your
Facts.
state. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
I like that. That's dope advice. And this is my last question because I said it was my last question like two
I ain't,
questions ago.
I'm not in a rush. Where we
Okay.
going?
I'm trying to time it. But listen, so what is your legacy and what do you aspire for your legacy to be?
My legacy. Good question. My legacy is D the Weatherman. He's a good guy, a sincere guy, a humble guy.
Mm,
10 toes down.
period.
He has a passion, a love for what he does. He has integrity.
Mm.
Um, he's in the music industry, but he's not an industry person. He's a
Okay.
genuine guy. Nah, I'm never industry. Never been that way, yo.
Really?
I'm not the kind of guy that said, let's do lunch next week and not call you. I'm not that person.
Um,
A lot of folks do that. Yeah, we should sit down and have dinner. And then you
yeah.
don't hear from them 6, 7,
They
8
ghost you and
months.
shit.
Yeah, these another event. We got to catch up. You said that last time I saw you. I'm not
Yeah.
that guy. I don't do that. You know what I
You
mean?
follow through on your word.
I follow through. Absolutely. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
That's that Bronx shit.
That's that true to self shit. You know what I mean? For real, for real. You know, and I want to hopefully, with this with my new venture, Amplify Creative Group. I want to, be successful with that. I am going to be successful with that. Not want to be. I am going to be successful
Period.
with that.
Speak
And,
into
and, and,
existence.
and hopefully, 10 years from now, let my little man run it. My
Mm.
junior, little Weather.
I love that.
Absolutely.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So, do you have right now artists already that you're working with, or are
I have a
you
couple of
like
artists that
pulling?
I'm working with. I won't say I'm working with just yet, but I have artists that's kind of I've been talking to and scaling out plans and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So I have a couple already on deck right now.
Okay.
Yeah, looking for, to definitely expand and take on more
Love that.
artists and again I have different services, different things I'm working on.
If you're looking to hire, holler at me.
Absolutely. I don't know if I can afford you though, but we're gonna figure something out.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. Not yet. Soon come.
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. It's been a pleasure having you here, and
Nah,
you really
I'm happy to
shared
be here.
you shared so much value and gems and like information that I hope people really tap into, especially artists more than
Well,
anything.
they ain't catch it. You gotta just watch it over again.
Yeah, watch it like 5 times.
Yeah, there you go. That's more views. You heard that? Watch it again. Damn it.
So can you let everybody know where they can follow you? Drop your Instagram, YouTube. You got TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you got. Also the brand.
LinkedIn got my government name, so I don't want to say my whole government name. But
I already
yeah,
released it.
actually, you didn't say that last name though.
Okay.
LinkedIn and Facebook have my government name, so I don't know if I'm gonna get those out. But if you want to tap in, follow the kid. I go by the name of Big D, the Weatherman. BIG, letter D, not DEE, but letter D, THE, Weatherman. Like the weatherman on the news that tells you the forecast. And shout out to everybody in Florida. Hope y'all guys get, make it through
Thanks.
and things like that. Yes, Big D, the Weatherman. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. Is it still Twitter's or X?
X.
Yes, yeah, X,
Still
whatever.
Twitter to us.
TikTok, I am on there, but I am so inactive because that's just not something for me. I'm not doing a jingle, a dance, a two-step. I'm
I
doing none of
can't
that.
see you doing
No,
that.
I'm not. I'm not. LinkedIn, I'm on there under my
Alright.
government name. Want my government name to tap in? Hit me on my DM. I will definitely
Alright.
let you know. Facebook, that's not for you, mind your business. And I'm just, I'm Big D the Weatherman in real life.
Hey,
Hey, find me,
lit.
New York City. I'm in these streets. Atlanta, what
Hey.
up? Miami, what up?
Hey, I love that. Thank you so much for being here. I loved having you. Thank you for sharing
Nah,
everything.
thank you for having me on
Yeah.
your platform.
Yeah, hopefully you come back another time too.
I am going to come back.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, come back with an artist next time.
All right, let's do it. Let's set it
Yeah,
up. Let's do
absolutely.
it. All right, thank you. Well, everybody, thank you for tapping into Keeping It Trill. I am your host, Nino
Keeping it
Reyes.
trill.
And we lit. We outside.
We outside, TS.
All right, we'll tap in next time. Thank you.